Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your favorite realtor, Ruth M. Haynes. Hey. Today I wanted to talk to you about why a pretty house can be a mistake. Oh my gosh. So I've been trying to figure out, like, why do millennials, see, I go deep. Why do millennials like to buy, like they don't want to buy? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right? Why are we renting, right? Why? And I'm just like, we know we're supposed to buy a house, but like, you know how they be like, well, back in the day we stayed at a job for 30 years and then we got a pension. Yeah, that's why you stay. But nowadays we don't have to stay anywhere. We just go to the next opportunity. And I feel like that we're doing the same thing with buying a home. Yeah, good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. So it's kind of tough because we're supposed to be buying homes. And like I said in the video that I created yesterday, we talked about the baby boomers, we talked about the millennials, and I had a comment saying that I'm 63 and I'm buying my first house. And I'm just like, it would have been free now. Not free, but like, it would have been like no mortgage on it. So that's my goal, So what we're going to talk about today is the pretty house syndrome, that the pretty house disease that we have going on here. So I can find you a house real quick. Like, it takes about, by the way, share the video because it really, really helps and I appreciate it. And if you like the information, please share the video and let everyone get the knowledge that they need. Everybody will be ready at a different time, so they're not your competition. Anyway, but they would appreciate you for it. And don't forget, 5-minute consultation. I left the link in the description for you. So the reason why people rent, millennials rent, the younger generation rent, is because, first of all, they don't know that $2,000 more dollars, right? If I'm renting a place for $1,000 a month, right, which I'm overpaying, by the way, because buying is cheaper than renting. I gave the landlord $3,000. I could have just paid $5,000 and I would have got a house, but I didn't know that because now Ruth told me that, right? It's too late. I already rented it out, but hey, at least it's over one day and I'm gonna call Ruth, right? Call Ruth. So what happens is, once you know what to do, once you walk through the process, you're good. But people are buying pretty houses and or renting pretty houses, and that's why they're really renting. It's like, so number one would be, it keeps you renting. If you want to move in somewhere and it's like, oh my gosh, this house is so nice, it's so nice, it's coming at a cost, it's coming at a price, it's coming at the price of your future, it's coming at the price of all the money that you made this year. Most of it went to the landlord's pocket, because that could have been in your bank of 30 years from now, or even, it's not even 30 years from now, you'll see a profit. In 10 years you'll start to see like $10,000 from your house or whatever. That's nice. Like, that's something like you worked hard for. You deserve your money. It's your money. Get it when you need it, right? So it keeps you running when you just want a perfect house. Like, some neighborhoods, houses are perfect, the prices are astronomical, so it only makes sense to rent. It's a lifestyle. I understand it. I get it. But it kind of keeps you trapped, right? And that's what people, when you're about to like move out of your parents' house and you be like, I'm gonna rent my house instead of buy, like, right then and there you should have bought a house, because if you would have just waited another couple months, you would have already owned your house. So it's very hard. Can I get some hand raised if it's hard to rent and save money, right? It's hard to pay that astronomical amount of money and save money to buy a house in a reasonable amount of time. It's hard. You had to be saving it little by little by little. So that's why if you focus on buying a pretty house or renting a pretty house, you kind of get limited in your options, right? If you would just say, you know what, I think I can improve this myself, there are options. You can get a 203K loan where you can renovate the house. Or you could chalk it up to, this is my first home. It doesn't have to be perfect. Or you could say, hey, I got a Home Depot card. Let me go get some cabinets. Let me go I got a girl. She bought her house. I'm so proud of her. She bought her house cash, and then she fixed it up on the credit cards. And, you know, she got good equity. That girl's 23 years old, got equity in her house. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. You just got to hear the stories and believe it and try it for yourself. So you don't want to keep renting. You can fix it yourself. And I always tell people, like, this kitchen that you love so much, because I promise you, when we go through the renovated houses, all they did was paint the whole house, polish the floors a little bit, or put some carpet down, and then they did the kitchen and the bathroom. That's it. Right? So if you redo the kitchen one year and we redo the bathroom another year, you're already paying for it if you don't know, because that's going to be a higher price that you're paying for. Now it's going to be the mortgage and everything, but it depends on the neighborhood and depends on how much it is. Like, you don't want to pay $30,000 for a new kitchen and a new bathroom, and then you can't move for like 20 years because you overpaid for a property. Now the market's changed, blah, 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 blah. You know, so that's why I'm saying pretty houses sometimes not a good idea. Now, if you find a pretty house and it's a good deal, like sometimes I find some good deals. I'm like, you need to jump on this right now. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house, right? So jump on that, yes. But if it's overpriced, if it's all that, if you got the money, go ahead. But if you're trying to stay in your ideal monthly range, I don't think so. So number 2 is, you got to step down a neighborhood sometimes when you go with the pretty house, right? So let's just say you want to live in this neighborhood. You probably have to settle for something in this neighborhood a little bit, like, let's just say the houses are 150 where you want to be, but they're all ugly, right? I call them ugly. They're not ugly, but you know what I'm saying. They're not perfect. 150, and then you will probably have to go to a neighborhood that's 125, and then they'll bump it to like 145, right? It is still in your, range of your pre-approval. So you're like, okay, 145, but then the neighborhood is not what you want it to be. So now you're stepping it down, and you have to take a neighborhood that you really don't agree with just so you can have a pretty house. When, like I said, you can make that change yourself. You can fix the house up yourself, little by little, people, little by little. We talked about delayed gratifications. I went all the way down, broke it all the way down to sandwiches. Check my video out, right? By the way, subscribe to my YouTube channel because other videos are on there. So the last point is, you'll get a smaller house. If you've been out looking for a house already, you realize all the pretty houses, beautiful pictures. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you what's going to happen in the future. You're going to look at that like, oh my gosh, Ruth, this is so nice. I love this house. I think this is the one. Girl, you offered it. Just put the offer in right now. Then you walk in the door and you're like, what in the smallness is going on right now? I don't understand. And if you didn't share this video, please share now. Share it. All right. All right. So we're back from our share break. Yeah, you always get a smaller house. So you get a worse neighborhood, you get a smaller house, all because in the name of pretty. Like, who is going to be in your house? Like, come on. Like, if I have a nice house, I'm going to have it to myself in the first place. And I just want to, be in my right environment. When you get in that house, it looks different. I remember when I first moved into my house, we walked into the house when we were not ready. It was like hard to find a house, right? Because all of them were too small. Then I expanded it. We had to wait a year anyway. And when I got into the house, right, we don't agree on nothing at all. But when we walked into the house, we knew this was the house. I tell you, the carpet was orange, the countertops were yellow, green carpets. I think it looked like it was made in the 70s or whatever, or before. I don't know. It was so ugly, but I could tell that it could be something special. So ambitious us, the next day, or was it the same day as settlement? We moved everything, like, we're crazy. Moved everything in, ripped up the carpet, painted that bad boy. I tell you, in 24 hours, it was like flip that house, right? Northeast style. We flipped that house so quick. It looks so totally different when it's your house. That's why I say you can't just look at the outward appearance. It didn't matter that the kitchen wasn't up to date when you got a banging living room, dining room set brand new, you know, everything. Come on, you can make it nice, and then you can work on the kitchen. It's like going on an amazing shopping spree, but after a while, all that stuff gets old. Versus you getting this set of clothes right here, and then that set later. You every day it's like something new, right? Because you waited a little bit. That's all I'm saying. So, number one, pretty houses keep you renting. Number two, the neighborhood is stepped down. And number three, a smaller house. So these are all the disadvantages. If you can find one at a good price, take it, right? So the solution is to buy a lived-in house. Number one, to buy, don't just rent, and buy a lived-in. I call it a lived-in because it's like they don't look that pretty in the pictures. They look plain, they look normal, and nothing fancy about it. But when you get in there, you get that space. You're like, oh, I can do this, and I can do that, and I can do wonderful things with this place, right? Might not be perfect, but that might be your house. And smart buyers buy a house that they can afford and they can fix up. And that payment, like you were so excited, like, oh, in the beginning, you like, this house is so nice. And then you realize by year 3, everything breaks down and everything's not so pretty anymore. So why didn't you just wait? Why didn't you just get a house that you can afford? It's a starter home for a reason. You can always upgrade your house. You can always get a bigger house. You got to get more income, all that. Like, it's a reason why you got that house in that price range, is because you don't want to kill yourself paying a mortgage. Yes, you can pay a lot for a mortgage. That's why people think that, oh, when I say buying is cheaper than renting, is not true. If you overpay, yeah, it's going to be more expensive to buy because you are operating, you know, with beer budget, champagne taste. You know, just that's all I'm saying. Anyway, share this video if you agree, if you have any tips and tricks for us, buying a pretty home, or what kind of house would you want to buy. If you have any questions, post below and share. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.